Imagine being burned alive, not because you hexed a harvest or summoned demons, but because you dressed differently, because you loved differently, because you existed outside of the mold. That was reality in early modern Europe, where queerness could literally be fatal. This is Queer History, and today we're diving into the twisted legacy of witch hunts, sodomy trials, and the weaponization of gender and sexuality. From the 1400s to the 1700s, Europe was ruled by fear and faith. The church and state fused together, obsessed with rooting out sin. And sin, that meant anyone who didn't fit their rigid mold of Christian, cisgender, heterosexual life. Witchcraft and sodomy were both capital crimes, punishable by death, and their definitions intentionally vague. Sodomy didn't just mean sex between men. It could include masturbation, oral sex, cross-dressing, non-productive sex, even excess affection between same-gendered people. Witchcraft could mean midwifery, herbal knowledge, too much independence, or simply being disliked. These weren't just religious sins, they were political threats. Real people, real terror, case studies. Let's look at a few real stories. Benedetta Carlini, a 17th century nun in Italy who claimed to have visions of Jesus and also had a romantic and sexual relationship with another nun. She rose to power in her convent, but once the church investigated, her visions were declared satanic and her queerness condemned. She was imprisoned for decades. Catalina di Erauso, a Basque nun who fled the convent, dressed as a man, and lived as a soldier across Spain and the Americas. She fought in battles, seduced women, and even got a papal dispensation to keep wearing men's clothes. She was praised, feared, and always watched. And then there were the nameless. In the Inquisition archives, we find records of men accused of sodomy, sometimes because of what they wore, how they walked, or who they were rumored to love. Confessions were extracted under torture. Executions were public. Most of them were never learned their names, just fragments. People weren't just punished for who they loved, but for how they presented. Cross-dressing became a criminal offense. To wear clothing of the opposite sex was even seen as a rebellion, deceit, a threat to the natural order. But for many, it wasn't a disguise. It was survival. It was truth. We see transmass monks, women in doublets, dykes and breeches, people who lived as themselves, even when the price was death. Their stories don't survive in poetry or paintings. They survive in court documents, in whispers, in ashes. This era set the stage for modern queerphobia. It fused gender, sexuality, and morality into law, and it weaponized it. It built systems that punish bodies for being different, and those systems still echo today. When we see laws against drag, when gender-affirming care is criminalized, when queerness is framed as deviance or danger, we're not dealing with something new. We're dealing with the same old playbook. But here's what history also teaches us. We were always here, even when they erased our names, even when they lit the fires, even when they swore we didn't exist. We were here, in the margins, in the resistance, in the truth. Next time on Queer History, we leave Europe and cross the Atlantic to explore queerness not as a crime, but as a sacred identity. Episode 6, Two-Spirit and Survival, Queerness in Native American Cultures. Until then, stay loud, stay curious, and stay queer.